Ginger may not be the first culinary herb you think of to ease your menopausal symptoms, but maybe it should be, due to its ability to reduce acute symptoms such as nausea and hot flushes, as well as chronic issues like painful arthritis and bone loss. Stay tuned to learn more. You're listening to Menopause Natural Solutions. This is episode 153, The Health Benefits of Ginger at Menopause. Welcome to Menopause Natural Solutions, your podcast for all things perimenopause, menopause and beyond. Stay tuned as your host, Naturopath Jennifer Harrington, explains how to use natural therapies to find your ultimate health and happiness during your transition. Hello, it's Jen here. I've wanted to discuss with you for some time the many and varied health benefits of ginger, as so many women experience nausea with their menopausal transition, and it's the first herb that springs to mind to help ease this. But ginger is so much more than just a nausea remedy. Ginger has such an interesting history. What really fascinates me is that it doesn't grow anywhere in the wild. It's all cultivated, and its origins are unknown, but we have been using it across the globe for a very long time. The earliest mention I could find was around 5,000 years ago, when the Indians and Chinese are believed to have first started producing a medicinal ginger-based tonic. It is thought that the Indians started trading this with Europe around 3,000 years ago, and its global expansion had begun. Its official Latin name, Zingiber officinale, means horn root, but it's actually not the root we use for medicine, it's the rhizome. Think of this as an underground stem. In November 2022, just a few months ago, a really interesting study was published titled The Impacts of Zingiber officinale on Symptoms and Hormonal Changes During the Menopausal Period. This study involved 70 women between the ages of 45 and 60. This double-blind placebo trial lasted for 12 weeks, and participants in the treatment group were given 1,000 milligrams of organic powdered ginger capsules. They collected data via blood tests, face-to-face interviews, and questionnaires, including the globally recognized Menopause rating scale. The Menopause rating scale looks at 11 complaints divided into 3 categories. Physical, which included hot flushes, night sweats, angina, insomnia, muscle and joint pain. Psychological issues included depression, irritability, anxiety, and mental exhaustion. The last section, urogenital, included bladder, sexual issues, and vaginal dryness. The ginger group experienced improvements across all of these areas, but the area that had the most dramatic improvement was seen with the reduction of physical symptoms, including hot flushes and night sweats. This study also noticed a change in hormone readings, with the ginger group experiencing higher estrogen readings and lower FSH readings. This study isn't the only one looking at ginger for hormonal health. Ginger has also been recognized for its ability to reduce menstrual cramps. It may help reduce flow in heavy bleeding. For the perimenopausal women amongst us that are still menstruating, you may be interested to hear about a study that found ginger to be as effective as a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory in relieving menstrual cramps. In clinical practice, I have seen ginger improve flow in general by reducing clot size and numbers, and by freshening up the flow, with women experiencing brighter, redder bleeds instead of darker brown bleeds. It may even help the most commonly experienced symptom at the menopausal transition, which is fatigue. Possibly one of ginger's most well-established health benefits is its ability to reduce nausea, Just ask a pregnant woman. It's also useful for motion sickness. For me personally, I have found motion sickness has kicked up a notch during my transition. I experienced a lot of travel sickness as a child. It eased as an adult, and it has started to return again now. I know I'm not alone in this, as many of you have told me that this is happening to you too. Another digestive benefit includes its ability to break up and expel intestinal gas, helping to reduce flatulence while regulating bowel movements. It can also help to ease indigestion. Ginger has a gentle ability to decrease inflammation, swelling, and pain. Being in the same family as turmeric, they share quite a lot of the same medicinal constituents. So it wasn't surprising to find studies indicating its effectiveness in reducing joint pain, muscle pain, and migraines. One study found it to be as effective as ibuprofen in reducing pain associated with osteoarthritis. Keep in mind ginger can be absorbed via the skin. Some women found relief using a warm ginger compress directly over their area of concern. Did you know your immune response drops in line with lowered hormones, and your allergic response increases at this stage of life too? Ginger can help. It is one of the strongest antihistamine foods, helping to ease allergies while also boosting the immune response with its antimicrobial and antioxidant qualities. Ginger contains one of the highest amounts of antioxidants, only surpassed by pomegranate and some berries. Ginger may even enhance your cardiovascular health by lowering platelets, triglycerides, cholesterol, and blood pressure, while enhancing peripheral circulation. But it's also where taking a concentrated ginger supplement could be risky. If you're having surgery, stop taking it 7 days prior. It has a blood thinning quality, and you don't want to encourage bleeding with surgery. There is also a small risk of medicinal interactions if you're taking antiplatelet or anticoagulation medications such as warfarin. Blood sugar issues become more pronounced at midlife, and ginger can help here too. By potentially lowering blood sugar levels, reducing insulin resistance, and may even act as a thermogenic agent to help support weight loss. Are you worried about your bones? Constituents in ginger have been found to increase osteoblastic activity, which is bone building, and reduce osteoclastic activity, bone breakdown, while also reducing levels of inflammation in and around your bones. Finally, I want to touch on its neuroprotective benefits. Constituents of ginger have been found to help with the mood by reducing depression and anxiety, while also providing protection against neurodegenerative conditions such as dementia and Parkinson's. Now to recap. Ginger may help improve menopausal symptoms like hot flushes, improve digestion and reduce nausea. It acts as an anti-inflammatory to ease pain and cramping. It's cardioprotective, neuroprotective, bone protective, and immune regulating. It covers both the short-term and long-term health consequences of the menopausal transition. And I personally think it tastes great too. But let's get real for a minute. If your primary concern is hot flushes, the gold standard of treatment is MHT. But not all women can take hormones or want to take them. For these women, ginger may be a real consideration, especially if clotting factors or other cardiovascular issues prevented their eligibility for MHT treatment in the first place. Where possible, I love including food as medicine in my recommendations, and many of the women working with me have heard of my morning ginger drink. This drink includes a knob of freshly grated ginger, half a freshly squeezed lemon, with either a dose of electrolytes or a pinch of salt. Depending on your personal preference, this can be drank with hot or room temperature water. To get the dose used in the clinical trial, which was 1,000 milligrams, you can consume a teaspoon of freshly grated ginger or half a teaspoon of powdered ginger. Heads up, this dose is too much to consume in one sitting. Ginger has a fairly safe record and is considered a low-risk remedy, but in high doses, it may cause digestive upsets and interact with medications. You can always ask your healthcare team to look it up for you. This is something I always check in my initial consultations. If you would like to learn more about functional foods for the menopausal transition, please join my email list, as I'm in the process of updating and expanding my functional food webinar, and when it's ready to go, my list will be the first to know. Wishing you a fabulous week. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Menopause Natural Solutions. This podcast contains general information about menopause. It is provided as a guide, and it is not intended to replace medical advice. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend.